Good morning students. In my previous video, I have covered the topic of vector product or the cross product. Now, on its basis, today we are taking few numericals. As A cross B is AB sine theta and cap is a unit vector pointing, that is perpendicular to plane containing A and B. This can also be written as that AB sine theta can be written as magnitude or modulus of A cross B. This is only the magnitude. So when I will put this modulus, this bar sign over here, it means I am taking only its magnitude. Now, there can be numerical where if it has been asked, find a unit vector perpendicular to A and B. So what has been asked? Nothing special, but you have to take the result from this point. This is a unit vector. So this unit vector is equal to A cross B upon modulus of A cross B. This result you will use directly. Another thing, as A cross B is a vector perpendicular to plane containing A and B. Suppose this is vector A and this is vector B. Now, if it has been asked what is the angle between A plus B and A cross B, what is the angle between these two? So if A and B are the vectors, then A plus B will lie somewhere in between. This will be the resultant, or that is A plus B. That is, it means the sum of two vectors, the resultant of two vectors lie in the same plane in which vector A and B lie. Whereas A cross B, this A cross B is lying perpendicular to the plane. So it means if this A cross B is pointing perpendicular, so angle between this A plus B and this A cross B, this is, yes, you are guessing it right, this should be 90 degree. It is 90 degree. So angle between A plus B and A cross B is 90 degree. Why? Because A cross B is perpendicular to plane of paper that will be directed upward. Similarly, if it has been asked, find angle between A minus B and A cross B, you can do it by yourself. This is vector A, this is vector B inclined at an angle theta. If I have to take A minus B, I have already introduced, you will take its negative. Then the resultant of these two will lie here. So now A minus B, this is also lying in the same plane where A and B lies, and A cross B will be perpendicular to plane containing A and B. So again you can see angle between A minus B and A cross B is 90 degree. So again your answer will be 90 degree. One more result you will use here in the numericals. If we have three vectors A, B and C. If these are coplanar, coplanar vectors means vector lying in the same plane. Then if the vectors are lying in the same plane or these are coplanar, then you have to check this condition, that is A dot B cross C, it will be 0. You have to learn this result as such. Many a times one or two question can be over these results. If any of the condition is given, prove that the vectors are coplanar, then you can reduce this. Or if the vectors are coplanar, then you have to find some unknown value, then also you can use this result. So these are some basic results which we have already introduced in the concept of vector product. Now on the basis of the these formulas and results, let me do few numericals. So now there is a statement, according to it, show that vector A and B are parallel. See, there can be two ways. One of the way that A dot B equal to AB cos theta, from there cos theta will be A dot B upon AB. By this way, if theta will come out to be 0, then the vectors will be parallel. This you have done in scalar product. But one more condition you have done in vector product, that if the vectors are parallel, then A cross B should be 0. So we can do by this method. Here it is not necessary which method you will adopt. Method should be correct. You can do it by dot product or by the cross product. So here, if I am doing it by cross product, so A cross B. See, first of all I will write I, J, K cap, and outside also I will write coefficient of I 2, then for J is -3 and for K is -1. Again I am writing, this is for vector A. For vector B, this is I coefficient is -6, J coefficient is 9, K coefficient is 3, and again repeating I coefficient. Then I have explained it in the previous video how to solve it. So I coordinate can be obtained just by taking, I am not just crossing it directly, I am taking this, I am not including these two lines. So this -3 cross 3, then again minus sign, 9 into -1. How can I write? -3 into 3, it is -9, then minus 9 into -1, so it will be +9. Minus minus plus. 1 minus will for the change of direction, change of sign. Similarly, when I am taking J coordinate, then I will write like these two. I will take these two. So plus J, -1 into 6, -6. Then 3 into 2, 6. But along with the minus, this is your -1 and -6. So it should not be -6. It should be +6. And this is only +3. Right? This is the arrow of it. So 3 into 2, 6, and it is -6. So basically you have to just be careful while writing the negative and positive sign. Otherwise this may create confusion. And again, K coefficient. When we are taking K coefficient, then these two terms will contribute. 2 into 9, 18. Then negative sign. Then -6 into -3. This is 18. So here it will be 18 minus 18. So now it's quite clear that all the coefficients comes out to be 0. So the result is 0. It means that vectors are parallel. But here what you have to do, just understand this, practice this. If you understand this particular rule, then you will be able to solve all different kind of problems of vector product. Now next numerical, calculate area of parallelogram whose adjacent sides are formed by the vectors A and B. Here you have to calculate area of parallelogram. Now by the geometrical meaning, geometrical interpretation of cross product, we have used one result that area of parallelogram is equal to, what was that? Area of parallelogram was equal to modulus of A cross B. Right? So first of all you have to calculate A cross B, and then you have to take its magnitude. So let me apply it. This is I, J, K, and this is I. Here K coefficient will not exist. This is 3, 5, 0, 3. And for B it is -3, 7, 0, and -3. So better way is to just pause the video, try to solve it, and then tell you the results, whether you are able to solve it. So you can just try it by yourself so that you will get confident over the concept. So now I am solving this I coefficient. When you are taking that 5 into 0 and 7 into 0, so 0 minus 0. Likewise, when we are taking J coefficient, when we are taking J coordinate, so it will be 0 into -3, then 0, and -0 into 3, again it will be 0. Then what is left? We have to calculate K coordinate. So it will be 3 into 7 minus product of these two. So it is 21, minus plus, and 3 into 5, 15. You can see here there is no x coordinate, no y coordinate, only z coordinate is present. So the z coordinate is 36K. Right? Now area of parallelogram. This will be equal to modulus of A cross B. So when I have to take its modulus, as how to calculate modulus, you will take square root of I coefficient square, 0 square 0, j coefficient square 0, and we have only k coefficient, so it will be under root of 36 square. When we are solving it, this is getting 36 units, square units. So by this way you can calculate area of parallelogram whose adjacent sides are formed by the given vectors. Now next numerical, see here, diagonal of parallelogram are represented by D1 and D2. Diagonals are specified. Find area of parallelogram in terms of diagonal. So this formula we have not done. So here we will do that area of parallelogram in terms of diagonal will be half D1 cross D2. See, when in the previous numerical we have taken their adjacent sides were given, so that was area of parallelogram was equal to A cross B modulus. But when the diagonals have been given, so area of parallelogram will be equal to half modulus of D1 cross D2, where D1 and D2 are its diagonals. So I am just solving it. D1 cross D2 is I, J, K, and here again I. This is basically the method which we are using. This is determinant method of maths. This is matrices and determinant is used in class 12, but here we are using this determinant method here. So here first of all D1 coefficients, when I am taking, I coefficient is 2, J coefficient is 3, K coefficient is -5, again here 2. For D2 vector, this is 6, this is 5, this is -3, and this is 6. So now here when I will take this I coefficient, so it will be 3 into -3 -9, the negative sign, then 5 into -5, that is -25, so it will be minus plus 25, right? Similarly, when we are taking J coefficient plus J, so it will be -5 into 6, this is -30, and minus, then -3 into 6, -6, so minus plus 6. Then I am taking K coefficient, so when I am taking K coefficient, so it will be 2 into 5, 10, -6 into 3, 18. So you have to just cross check it. You can just verify before proceeding further, because if any doubt left at this point, then your marks will be deducted for that. So check at this step. Just verify this again before going to the next step. So now 25 minus 19, this 9. 25 minus 9, this is 69. Then -30 plus 6, this is -24J, and -8K. So this is D1 cross D2. So now here D1 cross D2 is this one, and if I have to take its modulus, so magnitude which we are obtaining by taking square root, coefficient of I is 16 square, plus J coefficient is -24 square, plus K coefficient is -8 square. So just I will solve it. 16 square is 256, 24 square, this should be 576, and 8 square is 64. So now just add it. This is 16. This is under root of 96. You can just leave it, or you have to, if you want to just take its square root, you can check. This will come out to be 29.9 square unit. So now area of parallelogram will be half of this modulus of D1 cross D2. So it is half of 29.9. This is your 14.95 square unit. So basic method is same here. Just what the new thing we have learned in this numerical, that is this: if the diagonals have been given, then area of parallelogram is given by this one. Rest all steps are identical. By taking the cross product, finding the modulus, and apply the formula. Now next numerical, determine a unit vector perpendicular to both vectors A and B. So a unit vector perpendicular to A and B, as this A cross B is modulus of this, and cap. So and cap is A cross B divided by modulus of A cross B. Right. Now what you have to do, simply first of all find the cross product, then take the modulus of this cross product, take the ratio, you will calculate the unit vector. So method is quite simple. Try to solve it yourself, do the calculations, because this is a main important point. If you are able to calculate it, then definitely you will reach the result. So as per it, let me find A cross B. So here I, J, K coefficient I will write as in vector A. I coefficient is 2, J coefficient is 1, K coefficient is 1, again here is 2. For vector B, I coefficient 1, J coefficient minus 1, K coefficient 2, and it is 1. So again I coefficient, now just I am not showing it by cut, I am directly coming to the results. As I coefficient, when I am taking 1 into 2, minus, then minus 1 into 1, minus 1, minus, minus, plus, then 1. Similarly, J coefficient will be, this is 1, minus 2 into 2, 4. For K coefficient, this is plus K, 2 into minus 1, minus 2, then minus 1 into 1, 1. So it is 3I minus 3J minus 3K. Right? This A cross B comes out to be this one. So what should be our next step? We have to take its modulus. So when I have to take its modulus, then I coefficient 3 square, plus J coefficient minus 3 square, 9. K coefficient minus 3, its square, 9. So it is your, this is, you can take it as, this is 9 into 1 plus 1 plus 1. This is under root of 9 into 3. Taking under root of 9, it is 3 under root 3. So all the work we have done, A cross B we have calculated, modulus we have taken. Now simply apply the formula A cross B upon modulus of A cross B. So it is 3. I can take 3 common because all the terms having 3 factor, and in the denominator 3 under root 3. So it will be cancelled. So I minus J minus K divided by root 3. This is a unit vector perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. So now next numerical statement is there. Vector A and B are given. Find a vector having same magnitude as B and parallel to vector A. This is a general question. Here a vector having same magnitude as B. It means for that we require magnitude of vector B. So let me calculate. Magnitude of vector B will be 7 into 7, 49, plus 24 square, that will be 576. When I will add it, this is your 25, and square root when we are taking, this is 25. So vector having magnitude B. This is and parallel to vector A. Parallel to vector A means a vector that is having same direction as that of A. So what should we do? I have to take its vector unit cap. So it will be vector divided by its magnitude. For it also we require magnitude of A. So let me calculate magnitude of A. Here I coefficient for vector A is 3. So 3 square is 9. Plus J coefficient is 4. So 4 into 4 square is 16. It is under root of 25, that is giving you 5. So now here, now as per the statement, find a vector having same magnitude as B and direction given, that is parallel to vector A. So for this, if I have calculated this magnitude of A, so unit vector will be 3I plus 4J divided by 5. Now just use this result. Magnitude of B is 25. Direction, when you are taking, then vector A divide by its modulus. So it is 5 into 3I plus 4j. See here, basic concept. Actually, it is not vector product, but it is a general numerical which we are using here. So when any vector has to be calculated, we have to read the statement what is asked. As we have to calculate a vector whose magnitude is same as that of vector B and parallel to vector A. So first of all, we have calculated magnitude of B, then magnitude of A, then as per direction of A, that is unit vector, and then solve the numerical. So one more numerical on the same pattern we have done before this numerical. Find a unit vector parallel to resultant of A and B. See, what will be the resultant of A and B? This will be A plus B. R will be a resultant of this. So when I will add it, this will comes out to be 3 plus 1, that is 4i. 3 minus 5, that is minus 2j. Minus 2 plus 1, that is minus k. We have calculated resultant of this. Now read the statement again. Unit vector parallel to resultant of this. That means you have to calculate this unit vector. That is equal to vector divided by its modulus, magnitude. So here this vector has we have calculated. So calculate the modulus, or simply you can write it like this. This can be obtained by taking the coefficient, square, add, and taking the square root. So I coefficient is 4, this is 16, plus j coefficient is minus 2, so it is plus 4, and k coefficient is minus 1, so it will be plus 1. So on solving, it is under root of 21. So now it's all clear. Now nothing is left here. We can write, we can substitute the value of vector divided by its modulus. So all this is quite simple numerical. Basically here in this kind of problems you have to understand the statement very carefully. So now one conceptual problem is there. If A dot B equal to A cross B, find the angle between A and B. So what to do? Here in this numerical, in this problem, here you have to use both the results, dot product and cross product. So as per A dot B, this is A B cos theta. As per cross product, this is A cross B is AB sin theta. So now here AB will be common, cancelled out. So here I will take this cos theta in the denominator. This is 1 equal to sin theta upon cos theta. So it will be tangent theta. So tangent theta value, tangent function when we are taking having value 1, this is possible only for tangent 45 degree. So angle between the vectors will be 45 degree. Right? Many different numericals and conceptuals you have to study from your different reference books, whatever you have. Then only you will be able to understand the concept, how to apply it. One more conceptual problem I am taking, that a vector A, it points vertically upward. One vector A is given, this is points vertically upward, and vector B, it points towards east. Right? So what is the direction of A cross B? So when we are taking, see, if actually I am taking this vector A is perpendicular and vector B is along this east direction, this cannot be shown like this. And if I have to take the direction of A cross B, this A is along this, B is along this. So better to give it more clear, I am taking this vector A along this and vector B along this. So now A cross B. So actually when we are taking A cross B, this direction will be, so direction of A cross B when you will take, it will be towards north. You can just understand it. Actually vertical upward direction is this one. So A vector, A to B when you are going, so this is east, this is south, this is north, and this is west. So if I am taking A cross B, right? So A to B, the thumb is pointing in this direction. So this direction is towards north. It is giving you better clear picture. But if I will just explain it here, so it will be slightly confusing, because here you may confuse that north direction and this upward direction are coinciding, but this is not coinciding. Actually, when we are explaining the direction, I have already explained that when we have directions, this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west, and vertically upward and vertically downward below the paper. So that's why when I will take this upward direction, this A vector along this, then only thumb will point towards north. Right? One last numerical I am taking here. Edges of parallelepiped are given by 2i plus 3j plus 4k, 4j, and third one is 5j plus mk. So 3 edges have been given. Now what should be the value of m in order that volume of parallelepiped is 24? See, edges of parallelepiped, you can imagine any geometry box, because the length, breadth, height are different. So that is taken as a parallelepiped. Your book, your physics book, reference book you have, that is also an example of parallelepiped. So whose edges are represented by these three vectors. So now here what you have to do, how you have to calculate the value of m, and the volume of parallelepiped is 24. So here volume has been given, then you have to use the result that A dot B cross C. This is basically represented the volume of parallelepiped. This is given to be 24. This is a typical kind of question. You have to just remember that this is a new formula, that volume of parallelepiped can be obtained by this product. And how to solve it? A dot B cross C. See here vectors A, B, C have been given, but while solving it, you have no need to write I, J, K at the top, as A vector has been given to be 2i plus 3j plus 4k. Vector B has been given to be 4j. And vector C has been given to be 5j plus mk. So now, when I have to solve this, I will not write I, J, K. I will simply write the coefficients of all the three I, J, K. Here it is 0, 4, 0 for B vector. For C it is 0, 5, m. What we are doing here? A dot B cross C. Right? So for calculations, again I will write it this way. Actually I have introduced this concept. You can do it without it, but in that particular case there will be change in the sign of J factor. It means central line factors. So to avoid that confusion, to make it symmetrical in terms of negative or positive sign, I have used this particular concept. So now if I have to take this, if I am taking 2 as one term and the product as 4m minus 0 into 5, then 3 plus 3 instead of j, here the term is 3. So here this is 0 into 0 minus 0 into m, then plus 4. This is 4. So it is 0 into 5, 0 minus 0 into 4, 0. So what is we are getting here? This is 8m, because rest all factors are giving it to 0. Now volume of parallelepiped is given to be 24. So value of m is 3. So here new concept in this numerical which we have introduced is basically when we have three vectors. Actually we are doing it for B cross C, where I, J, K, I we are writing. But now when such kind of question, when the vectors are coplanar, then we take A dot B cross C. Or when we are taking volume of parallelepiped, then we are taking A dot B cross C. So in that particular case, you will start writing the coefficients directly instead of I, J and K, and start solving in the similar manner. And only then you can calculate the value of M. So here is a summary of the basic results that are quite very important. That is A cross B is 0 only when the vectors are parallel or anti-parallel. So if we have to prove the vectors are parallel, then you will use this result directly. And if you have to prove vectors are perpendicular, then you have to use this result. Right? If A dot B comes out to be 0, then automatically it means vectors are perpendicular. And if A cross B comes out to be 0, it means vectors are parallel. One more thing, here I have written that A dot A cross B equal to 0. What does it mean? As A cross B, see here, this is vector A, this is vector B. So A cross B will be perpendicular to it. I have represented it by this. So if this vector, this is perpendicular to A and B, now A dot A cross B. So angle between A and A cross B is 90 degree. So it means now A magnitude into A cross B magnitude into cos 90. What should be? 0. The magnitude of A and A cross B, angle between them is 90 degree. Whatever be the magnitude between them, this angle is 90, so result will not exist. It will be 0. So I have done it by this way, or you can do it by this way. In both the ways, this can be the result. Conceptual problem, when it has been given, directly we can apply such kind of results. See one kind of conceptual problem here, one more. A dot B equal to 0. It means A is perpendicular to B. Right? And A dot C is 0 means A is perpendicular to C. See, B and C we have taken here, and A is perpendicular to B and A is perpendicular C. It means, what does it mean? That means B and C, when I am taking and I am taking their cross product, it means vector A will be parallel to B cross C. When I am just reading this line directly, it is difficult to understand. But see, from here, A dot B 0 means A is perpendicular to here. A will lie here. A dot C means A will be perpendicular to C also. Now, from this figure, B cross C, if I have to take B cross C, then it is perpendicular. That means obviously along this direction. So what we are concluding? Vector A and B cross C, these are parallel to each other. So these are few conceptual problems which I have taken. You have to practice. First of all, revise all these concepts which I have explained, and after that go to your reference book and just review. Just have a reading of the conceptual problems of 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark. And try to understand the concept. Don't try to learn or cram the things. Just read the concept, take your notes along with, and try to match that what concept has been applied there. When you have understanding of the concept, then you will be automatically able to solve such kind of problems. So keep revising, keep practicing all the concepts carefully. Take care of your health also. Thank you. Have a nice day.